Good evening, Gabby.
Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Curran's Football Podcast. Steady away, son. What kind of 2 weeks have you had? Because last week we didn't do a podcast, and next week and the week after, Chris is away next week, and I'm away the week after, so it's going to be a couple of weeks until we do our next one. But anyhow, steady away. How you been, son?
Well, enjoy yourself, pair of you, when you have your week's break. Well, we missed last week because obviously Janet weren't well. She missed her team. We're not being well at all.
Yeah.
But a bit better week this week. So other than that, not too bad.
Yeah, I know about unwell people. Just had the birth of our latest grandchild, the 10th one, and sadly it was born.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he was born with a hole in his diaphragm, so he's been.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's been in the children's hospital for 10 days, but hopefully, as long as he's feeding okay, he'll be out within a couple of days. He might even be out by the time England play the Republic of Ireland. More about that a little bit later. Before we get on to the magic moments, I want to talk about your magic moment when you went to Donny when they entertained Morecambe. How did it go? And tell me about the shirt, the story behind the shirt.
Well, I don't think I know what happens with Doncaster. They invite ex-players back, and they present them with a shirt, like in Hall of Fame for them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the first time they've ever invited me back. I mean, it was my first club. I was sold for a lot of money back then, for 75,000 plus two players, Dennis Peacock and Ian Miller, and they made a few quid on them too. So I weren't a bad signing for them. Going back way back then, and earning £20 a week went a lot of money.
No,
and they sold me for 75. So I was pleased for them to invite me back, but it took them a long time to do so.
Absolutely. When you say there was 2-player swap as well in the deal, Ian Miller being one of them, was that Spider, the fella that you played with later? No, another Miller.
Miller.
Ian Miller.
Ian Miller went to Swindon, Blackburn.
Yeah.
So so Dennis Peacock, who went on to Bolton, and Ian Miller, his nickname was Dusty, and he played with Swindon and Blackburn after Doncaster sold him, man.
So what was the?
Go on.
What was the day like? What was the event like? How did it go? Talk us through it briefly before we get into the magic moments stuff.
Like any game, you get invited to, and then you get a meal with it, and then you go and do a little bit of talking.
Mm-hmm.
Get presented on the pitch at half time.
Yeah.
Receive the shirt, and like all my shirts, I finish up giving them. I'll give it away. I give it to Janet's grandkids, and they'll duly oblige by putting it in a frame and putting it upon their wall.
Fantastic. I did see that on Facebook. Couldn't wish for a better granddaddy. Give you the last breath. And that says a lot about
I always try, and if I can help anybody, I always do that.
Absolutely. What was the reception like from the Doncaster supporters? I mean, it was a long time ago when you played for them. And what was it like in the rooms when you were going around? Was there many older guys that remembered your days at Donny?
Yeah, it's like anything. When you're invited to these tours, they show you a lot of respect. Even the younger generation. Yeah. And you know as well as I do, because they're not the best support. In fact, there's more Leeds fans in Doncaster. I mean, Doncaster, it's a big city.
Yeah.
I think population is over 300,000.
Mm.
When you look at Burnley, 70,000, and Gateshead, we know they're playing in the Premier League. But very, very good. And like I say, it's not a well-supported club in Doncaster. But no. Even though I was disappointed because it took a long time, I still appreciated for them inviting me back there.
Absolutely. I have noted recently the social media and all the people behind Doncaster seem to have upped the game a little bit. They're all over the place. I mean, not all over the place like random, but they're really on top of it with stuff like that. So maybe they've had a new group of people that's come in. They've had a number of players that have either gone back or come in. And Donny are flying at the moment. I mean, they beat Morecambe and they had a great 3-2 away win at Port Vale. Did you meet any of the boys? Did you have a chat with Billy Sharp?
No, because obviously I'm at the far side.
Yeah, got ya.
And then after the game, we shoot off. So it all depends what time they get out of the dressing rooms and
Yeah,
get. And if that's if they do go now up into the bars, it's not like when we were playing, we go straight into the bar after the game.
yeah, yeah,
But we shot straight off afterwards. So no, I didn't get a chance to. I met one of them who presented the shirt to me, but don't ask me then because I forgot who it was now. But like in general, it's nice to go back to your old clubs
yeah. Of course
and
it
see
is.
how they're doing. And
Absolutely.
when I look at it, I put all that success down to Doncaster with me, even though I kept voting for him to get beat
Mm.
last season, and they went on that unbelievable run. So I kept with it, and they kept winning. And then looks like they're going to have a good season this season.
Absolutely. Gavin McCann going back as well has really made a difference. Things look really, uh, they look really good. There's a lot of green shoots there. Luke Molyneux is smashing in goals for fun. Little Gibby, nice little assist for him at the Vale, who got brought up
And they're
round.
winning tonight, one now.
They were, yeah, at half time they're beating Huddersfield 1-0. But as I little Jordan Gibson, he went to school with my stepdaughter. So it's great to see Gibby getting on the goal sheet and also assisting and playing well and cutting it at that level. So all things in the Doncaster Rovers garden look very, very rosy. And as I say, I think the upturn could be put down to Terry Curran's predictions last year on our podcast.
Now I am only joking, but
I'm not.
when 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 uh, when I went with Gavin because I didn't fancy the team the first time, and then Doncaster won.
Mm.
So I kept with it. You kept backing Doncaster.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
did,
that's
yeah.
why you won last year.
Yeah, Donny was
So
the
I helped out you with your football correction scores last season, and I helped Doncaster.
double bubble, win-win all the way round, TC. What have you sourced for us in terms of magic moments over the last couple of weeks? There's been a few.
Well, I mean, as we keep saying, the goals what we see from all four divisions,
Yeah,
maybe and five divisions, because the conference, some of the goals what's going in the conference
yeah,
are unbelievable. I mean, the week before when I didn't do it, who who scored the goal now at I think it was at Hull, scored from a corner kick.
mm.
Anyway, it's gone now,
Yeah. We did.
but
We we
great
we
goal.
talked. Yeah, yeah,
But this week, I am going for a goal, and I am going. I mean, I go for goals, but there is magic moments in game, and we
yes,
see them week in week out. But at 31-32, I'm going to give Mo Salah it because his performance against Man United.
yeah,
And forget how bad or how good Liverpool were. His performance, and is it going to be his last season for Liverpool? Was outstanding. And, things like that. I look at it and, yes, he's a world class player. Yes, he's been a great player for Liverpool. But to keep producing it week in and week out, it takes some doing. And his performance against Manchester United. And he's one of them what brings his game up with the bigger games. I mean, he does it with the other teams. Don't get me
mm,
wrong, but you need those players to fetch their A game to the big games. And we know Man United not as good as what they were under Ferguson, but you still have to beat them. And
absolutely.
his performance, I thought. I mean, I've looked at Liverpool three times this season. They look even a better team under this guy than they did under Klopp.
Yeah, they do.
And
Yeah.
I know there's only three games, but the tempo to the game,
Mm.
to Liverpool's game, is tremendous, and I've loved watching them this season.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could run Man City very close. And I think, again, it's only early doors. I know it's only a few games, but you look at the team, you look at the way they're shaping up, and I think they could finish above Arsenal and give Man City a really good run for the money. They do look fantastic. And in terms of Mo Salah, he scored more goals at Old Trafford than Anthony now, hasn't he? Or sorry, the same amount of goals as Anthony.
But I mean,
It's
you look at
incredible.
what's the manager's name? He's
Who,
a
li-
Dutch guy.
who live
Liverpool.
Liverpool's?
Yeah,
Ernie Slot, isn't it?
Ernest
Arnie Slot.
Slot.
He come from Feyenoord.
But he looks so composed when he's talking.
Yeah, he
I
does.
keep telling you, you listen to our pundits talk, you listen to our coaches talk. And it's all about work rate and box to box and all that. You listen to these people talk,
Yeah.
they're way above, they're way
Mm.
beyond any of our coaches. It's the technical side of it, understanding the game side of it,
Yeah.
the touch side of it, awareness side of it. And we could learn so much. I find it strange that, I'm saying this, but we could learn so much from the Continentals. Yet people still think our coaching system over here is the strongest in the world. And they all seem to still want to come to England or to Scotland to get the coaching badges,
I know.
which
So
I
incredible.
find it strange.
Baffling. I love the air of arrogance that Arnie Slot has, and I mean that in the nicest way. And you know what I'm saying. There's confidence. He's not an
No,
arrogant person, but he's got
you,
that air
you,
of total
you
supreme self
do
belief.
know, there's 2 points to arrogance.
Yeah,
There's the arrogance when you don't want to talk to that person.
yeah,
But is that because you think, well, what a big head he is and what an arrogant sort of he
absolutely.
is? That,
Yeah,
and then there's the other arrogance,
yeah,
which is the confidence.
yeah,
But still wants to speak to people. And not that you don't realise, you can see that he's been arrogance, confidence in what he's doing and what he's saying,
yeah.
but he's still pulling you in to like him as a person.
Absolutely. And I think he's giving Liverpool that little bit of a swagger because of his personality and what he's added to it. And again, when you lose a manager like Klopp,
Anyway, go on, sorry.
I was going to say, when you lose a manager like Klopp, like Arsenal have done with Wenger, like Ferguson moving out at Manchester United, Arne Slot seems to literally just slotted into that and touched them up a level, as you've alluded
I
to.
I think he may
Yeah, might do.
surpass,
Yeah,
well, surpass Klopp
yeah, I
with
agree.
his achievements.
I agree.
But I mean, what I can say about Liverpool, I mean, when you take over clubs, you're taking over when the club and the team is, have hit a bad spell.
Yeah,
What I will say about Liverpool, the foundations were still left there by Klopp.
yep.
He left them in a good, healthy position.
Mm,
They hadn't gone out and had to spend money on a new stadium like Arsenal did. And
absolutely.
I mean, Arsenal couldn't buy the big name players for 4 or 5 years.
Mm,
Yet Wenger still kept him in the top four. I know that's not great in a sense,
mm,
but still pulling players in. You need to be in the Champions League to pull players in. So Klopp has left him in an healthy position. He's gone in there in a better position than other managers. All right, Man United still left a good foundation, but it was an aging team.
yeah.
But when you look, I mean, there's loads of fans go on about Guardiola. Oh, I can be as good as Guardiola spending all that money. Look how
Imagine.
much money Manchester United spent under
Absolutely. Look
Mourinho,
at Everton.
under Van Gaal.
Yeah, look at
You
Everton
know,
under various
well,
managers.
they've had 4 or 5 managers, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah,
When you look
absolutely.
at it,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Six
after
hundred million
Moyes
pound.
left,
Yeah.
after Moyes left, after Moyes
Moises.
left,
Yeah.
you know, they've had Ancelotti, they've had the Dutch kid who's
Yeah,
managing now, the
yeah, Koeman. They had Big
Currans,
Sam as well. Big
Big
Sam was in
Sam,
there at Everton.
you
I
know.
mean, they've had
So
Martinez as well. Yeah,
they've had
Marco Silva.
loads of managers,
Yeah.
you know. Whereas, and they've teams are faded by what's happened to them. But
Mm,
Liverpool look, if not stronger, look even stronger now.
absolutely.
So let's see what happens from here.
Yeah. I mean, as you say, there's a long way to go, and it is early doors. But I mean, what a
And they
fantastic
haven't
start.
played. They haven't played obviously anybody outstanding up to Manchester United, and the
No.
Man United look a second championship team.
Mind you, to be fair, I don't think that's really difficult. I mean, he really is struggling. I mean, I know that he got the gig basically after the FA Cup win. I think if he'd have got beaten the FA Cup, I think they might have got rid of him. But he kept his job after the FA Cup win. But I just don't see, when I've watched Man United over the last period that Ten Hag has had, the United side, I just don't see any improvement in United. I don't know what they are. I,
Well,
I,
I
I,
thought it would. Go on. He worked under Guardiola, right? He definitely worked under Guardiola. I think it was at Barcelona,
Who
or
was?
maybe
Who, Ten Hag?
yeah. Yes, he definitely worked under Guardiola, either at Barcelona or at Bayern Munich.
Oh, right, okay.
And when he won the FA Cup the first time, and I mean it's not to be sniffed at in the FA Cup.
No,
I'm one of them.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was one of them. And I thought, well, they've got a bit of pace in the team. They got him into Champions League. Now can he take it on to the next level? But his philosophy looks well. It looks lost. It looks as though people don't understand what they're doing.
No, absolutely. I mean, and I think he's losing it with the press as well because he's
And
starting to
I
bite
got
back.
it all wrong with I got it all wrong with that man.
Yeah, I mean, football is a funny game, but I mean, Ten Hag does look as though he looks as though he's on a dodgy wicket. It don't look as though he knows where he's going, what his philosophy is. It looks like a rudderless ship at the moment at Old Trafford. I think, as the stand is, falling to pieces, I think the team is falling to pieces as well. And it wouldn't
Well,
surprise me if he didn't get the sack. I mean, you said that in one of the previous podcasts, and Gareth Southgate's name has been muted to take on Ten Hag's
that's
role
no chance.
as a manager.
That has no chance of happening.
I bet you it
And
has.
what I bet you we can't. I'll bet you that has no chance. Listen, the Man United looked right. We're looking in the summer, or they're supposed to spoke to different managers.
Yes, they did.
That's a disgrace.
Yeah,
That's a disgrace for a club at that size. But it's Liverpool,
100%.
Man United, Arsenal, and especially Manchester City now, where
Yeah.
they coming to a point where does Guardiola leave?
Mm,
They should, right? When they're changing a manager, coach, whatever you want to call it,
mm,
they should have somebody in mind,
yeah,
and he should be a lead manager, and they say, right, boom, and they know they're
100%.
going to get that manager. Not
Yeah,
talking to three or four different. It's
yeah,
Manchester United, the biggest club, whether people like it or not, the biggest club in England.
absolutely, 100% by margin.
End of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan, but they're the biggest club in England.
100%, T. And you're right, the way that they're
And the
running the
second
club.
biggest club in the world.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
By,
only behind
by
Real Madrid.
behind Real Madrid.
Yeah, 100%. No debate or argument there. The way they've gone about their business over the last few years has left a lot to be desired. What didn't leave a lot to be desired was Mark Harris's strike for Oxford United against Blackburn. I mean,
Unbelievable.
it was super, and a great little chest pass from his strike partner. But I mean, what a shot! What a volley! What a goal! Cavascalia's pass and goal for Napoli the other week. Jamie Gitten's goals for Dortmund against Eintracht Frankfurt, bringing it a little bit more up to date. Eze made his goal look so easy at Chelsea. And I love Luke Molyneux's goal for Doncaster away at Port Vale. And I did post up today the fella, I think he plays for Worthing, and it was against who's that? Boreham. I think it was Boreham Wood who they played against. The fella's got it pretty much edge of his own box. Couple of 1-2s, and put it in the onion bag. That is well worth a watch, and it was a fantastic goal. One of the magic moments, not of
We
this
can
week, but the season. T. What a goal
we,
that was.
we can moan and groan about too much football on TV, but the one thing it has brought us
Yep,
is unbelievable goals we would never have seen without having the TV at these grounds now. So
absolutely.
I applaud that type of exposure for the goals in all the leagues. So
Yes.
let's hope that they can keep maintaining these goals. But well, I mean the ball does help because the ball now and the boots are so
Mm,
light. I mean Jock's boots, I cannot believe how light they are.
yeah.
Uh, I mean he's same size, well, just a little bit bigger than me, but they do. He has them a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
They do fit me perfect. And when I put them on, I just feel as though I want to play. I want to go out and have a game of football. And I don't often feel that way, but when I do put them on, I always think, oh, I'd love to play in these type of boots.
What were your favourite boots when you played? Was there a favourite brand that you wore, or a favourite
I
pair
am,
of boots?
I
And how long
am,
do you have them for?
I am the most weirdest person you'll ever. I won't bother with it. what boots I got. Honestly, Gabby, I
Yeah,
hadn't. I
yeah,
did like Puma, but not in the sense that, like some place, I've got to have these, I've got to have them. I did like the style of Puma,
yeah.
but I got paid by Patrick, Adidas, and Puma, and I'd be trying to paint them up, all different, but, paint them out the colour of them because obviously I was getting paid by all three of them.
Yeah.
Um, but I used to give a lot away to my brother, and my brother would give them to other people in the village, like,
Mm.
what was saying, they were asking him for football boots, I'm giving him. But I'm saying, what are you doing with these football boots? But no, the Puma ones I did like more than any of them. I mean, a lot of them like the Adidas Predators, or Copa, well, the Copa, something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember, something like that. But I prefer the Puma one. But it didn't make any difference to me. Like people put the shirts on last, or put the shorts on last, or put the socks on first, put the socks on last. I was one of them watching television or watching racing until about 20 to 3, and then I go down, put my boots on, get a bollocking from manager because I've not been in dressing room. I said, don't worry about it. We'll get a result. So stop moaning. So I'm the worst one to ask about anything like that.
Was there any boots though that you felt more comfortable in?
No,
No,
I just,
you just put them on and just play
I
football,
just
don't
put
you?
them on and went out to play. Yeah,
Yeah,
but other people. The people, there were players, but if Bulls got that back,
yeah,
right, they'd be going ballistic
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and put them off the game. But I just went. I listen. This a couple of times when my Bulls got left,
yeah.
I wore somebody else's boots. Other people find that strange to do.
Mm.
It just never bothered me. Anything like that never bothered me
Have boots will
ever.
travel and
Playing
you'll
in
wear
front,
any. What?
playing
What?
in front of two, playing in front of 2,000 or playing in 32,000
Didn't matter,
didn't make
did it?
any difference to
No.
me. No.
What boots did you wear when you played in the Boxing Day Massacre? Can you remember?
No, I haven't got a clue.
No.
I thought you were going to say what about Wembley. I've just told you I wasn't bothered about
Yeah,
both.
no, you wasn't. No, no.
But I would have had the Patrick,
Yeah.
Puma, and Adidas
Mm.
because I got paid for whatever happened. It wouldn't make any difference
Yeah.
because um, I just didn't take any notice of it all. I
No.
really didn't. So
No.
it's no good asking me what boots I prefer. You know,
Pre-season training, breaking them boots in used to be, you know, a proper arduous task, didn't it? I done a recent podcast with Alan Hudson, and it was like pre-season and early doors, and Uddy was saying how difficult pre-season was physically, and none more so than breaking in your boots, and he'd have like blisters on his feet, and
you would majority of players would sit in the bath with the boots on,
yeah,
stretching.
yeah,
Majority took them home to wear at home and take the studs out and try and stretch them that way.
yeah,
Um, you got blisters anyway, but
yeah,
there used to be some special stuff you would put your feet in
mm,
to harden your feet up, and help you with the blisters.
yeah,
Your feet got covered in your toes and your heels got covered in plasters, you know. But it used to be horrendous. But pre-season used to be horrendous because all the running you did, you see,
yeah,
and all
absolutely, yeah,
the new gear, right?
mm,
Your shorts and everything. Uh, and then I remember early part of being a footballer, and then when I went to Nottingham Forest, because when you do pre-season, your legs are rubbing, and then we realised we got at Forest, not realised at Forest we got Vaseline,
yeah,
and you put that on your thighs to stop it, your legs slapping against each other when you're running.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you didn't have Vaseline at Doncaster. You're lucky to have anything at Doncaster, even a pair of boots, you know. But pre-season was horrendous, and Uddy's right. The boots and the trainers used to be, because they used to be tight and they used to be hard.
Yeah,
Like I said, the boots are
exactly, yeah.
so
Mm,
light,
mm,
so light. They just when you put them on, they're like a pair of gloves.
yeah,
What fit you perfect,
Yeah, they're like putting on a pair of slippers these days rather than the boots that you used to play with. Book Corner TC, our book of the month, Under the Floodlights, 60 Years of the League Cup by Rob Carlos. I have had to put Rob off a couple of times in making a podcast, but we are going to make a podcast talking about his wonderful book. Pitch Publishing have published it. They've kindly sent me a copy. Foreword by Brian Little. And lovely cover here with Giddy certainly on the cover, and Ray out, and I think there's a bit of a Villa fest on there, but it goes through the 60s, 70s, 80s, all through the decades of the FA Cup, and it goes through various finals, and in this book somewhere would be your final in 1979, and there has been a number of players that have contributed to it, because when I was talking to Rob when he was on about the book, because there's various books about the FA Cup, but very few books about the League Cup. And then with all the Legends of the 70s interviews I've done, I'm thinking, well, Terry Curran played in 79, John McGovern played in 78, Terry Ibbott played in 74, Steve Perryman played in 70. You know, so we were going through them, and I'd interviewed so many players that had played in cup finals. Many of those have contributed. Of course, Uddy played in the 1972 League Cup final against Stoke City, and he's got that iconic picture of George Easton where he scored the goal, and the nearest person to George Easton is Alan Hudson, and he's walking away, and it's such a poignant print that he didn't realise at the time, but he was literally walking out of Chelsea towards Stoke City and a new beginning. So, you know, it is, the cup has always been a romance and a fairy tale, and in this book of Rob's, Under the Floodlights, there are so many stories about the romance and the wonderful League Cup that we have today, and still very lucky to have it in Europe. Of course, they only have one cup, and we've got the two.
Yeah, we've got the two. We know or back then the FA Cup was the most prestigious cup.
Absolutely.
But they were both great to play. They were both all players look forward to winning a cup, if not the league, you know. But now it's clubs, even the lower league, just sniff it, you know. I find it incredible.
Again, we've had many conversations on podcasts. What I'd do, I'd boot them out the cup, and I'd invite the Scottish teams to take their places. And I'm sure that if we had the Scottish teams, your Rangers, your Celtic, your Hibs, your Hearts, and all the rest of them, I think that it might just add a little bit more energy to the cup. And these big clubs might go, oh, well, we want a part of it now.
You know, the powers that be are the ones what's causing the problem.
Absolutely, 100%.
Playing too many games, playing doing this or doing that, and then the World Cup's going to get bigger.
Yep.
The Champions League has got bigger.
Super
and
League.
And they're affecting him worse. The teams. Why they call it the Champions League? I haven't got a clue.
Can we now? I mean, I know that the others still, you know, kowtail to them and call it the Champions League. But on Terry Curran's weekly football podcast, we're going to give it its proper name, the European Super League, because it's in a league format now. You play 8 games, 4 home and 4 away.
They're not the Champions League.
No, it's the European. Yeah, it's the European Super League. Phase 1 has been now taken over by Phase 2. They've been working on this for ages. The European Cup, then they called it the Champions League. Then they introduced more teams in there to make it like not a Champions League, because it's not played by champions, but the top 4 in most big leagues across Europe.
It looks as though the big clubs are going to eventually pull out, like Manchester United did with the FA Cup when they went to, was it Brazil? I think they went there, wherever they went, where they didn't play one season in the FA Cup, and I think that's what will happen. They'll give some excuse, and the big 3-4 teams what to represent the Champions League will go and join the European Super League. That's what will happen.
Do you know what I think they'll do? I think you're absolutely 100% right, T. The big clubs will break away, and they will be in the European Super League. They'll have 2 conferences like they do in America. They'll follow the pattern of the NFL in rugby. The American football and the Major League Soccer in America. They'll take that format. I'm absolutely convinced. I think they'll
Well,
have two.
everything,
They'll have two
every,
squads.
And to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRB Media. Thank you.